You know, it's interesting coming back to one of your first experiences in life, and The Great Mouse Detective is one such experience for me, as it was my very first Disney film. And as such, it also contains a lot of firsts. My first jump scare, my first villain song, my first ship. Unfortunately, since it was the first in a long line of Disney material, it was quickly snowed under with the release of the older classics on VHS, and of course the Disney Renaissance following close behind. And that's a shame really, because looking back on this film as an adult, I've come to see that it holds a rather unique place within the Disney canon. Sure, like most of their films, it is an adaptation, although there will be no comparisons to the source material here, as I have not read the original book. If you want to know how I think this stands up as an adaptation, let me know and I'll make a separate video for that. No, here I am looking at this film purely as its own thing. And I've come to see that it really is its own thing. Unlike many Disney films, it's not a musical in any way. No too cool villain song, and the scene that launched 1,000 furries does not count in my eyes. It has a male hero, which is a bit rarer for Disney, but more than that, there is no significant changes that happen in Basil's character. I wouldn't even describe it as a flat character arc because no one around him changes either. Dawson isn't uncomfortable with being on the case with Basil, except when Toby is involved. While he did say he was looking for a bit of peace in his introduction, there's no conflict over that. He doesn't find it all overwhelming or want to give up. It's just embarrassing at points. Sure, he struggles with being inexperienced, but so does Olivia, so the kidnapping that he blames himself for would have happened regardless, and he does find the key piece of evidence in that toy store scene, and of course it is him who snaps Basil out of his funk after Ratigan captures them. Now Ratigan remains the classic evil for evil villain's sake, right up to and including his classic Disney death, via gravity. And it isn't like Basil is a beacon of virtue inspiring those around him. He's a know-it-all, quite insufferable about it at times, and remains as such. And that lack of prominent character, arc, or overarching moral is something not seen very often from Disney. Really, this is just a simple slice-of-life adventure with broad character tropes in play, and it works really well as such. And the fact that it is an action-adventure piece lets the animators take full advantage of that, with the use of worm and bird's-eye views, the shadow work, and of course that great tracking shot and fight on Big Ben for the finale. It's great to watch, and it highlights something I wish modern Disney was more invested in, and that is using and developing newer technology to enhance the story, and not just for the sake of special effects in and of themselves. The most striking thing to me, though, coming back to this after such a long time, is that I'm reminded of what a comfortable movie it is for me as a viewer. The warm colors against the rain and fog of the city, the cozy workroom of Basil's with plush pillows, even though they don't last very long, with a warm fire, everything spread out the way he likes them to be. It's a small, intimate place to work that has a little bit of clutter. Nowadays, working on my own project, I enjoy that kind of space, all set out just for me, where every stack of paper isn't perfectly straight. I love to work in solitude and to look on with pride at this work that I've crafted, and the influence for that all started here with this film. I was really surprised at that, and that I basically enjoyed this film just as much as I did watching it as a kid. It still holds up just as well, although I could do without the balloon fart sound in the middle of the chase at the end. Way to ruin the tension, guys. Also, the timeline bugs me a bit, since Ratigan is supposed to be getting his queen robot ready over 2 days, yet Fidget gets Olivia the same night she goes to Basil, and I don't think it would take all day for Basil and Dawson to get back to Baker Street from the toy store, where it's clearly night because the shop is closed. But it is night when they get to the CD pub and get captured, and that's the night of the Queen's Jubilee. It's odd, but since the atmosphere of fog and low lighting that I just praised to the high heavens does obscure exactly what time of day or night it is, I suppose I can live with it. Although there are things that are better as an adult too. As I mentioned, I have a new appreciation for the composition of the film and the animation techniques at play. And now that I know of Vincent Price, it's much more fun to look for things in Ratigan that are based on him, like his trademark laugh. However, I must admit great disappointment at the realization that Ratigan isn't letting his underlings have an unlimited supply of cream soda. Sigh. Still, despite that crushing realization, this is a marvelous little gem of a film that I love just as much now as I did then when it was new. And I wish it got more attention and recognition from Disney these days. Like, seriously, Disney, it's a mouse going on a series of adventures a la DuckTales. You could make it work as a TV show, I know you could. Or a ride in your park, or at least bringing back the costume characters. Even just the villains for the Halloween party. I'll take anything. Alright, that wraps up my first full look back at my first Disney film. If you enjoyed this video or have suggestions for other films you'd like to see in this format, please leave me a comment. Also, like and share this video with others because we all need new ways to fill up our YouTube binging time. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.